How's it? Today is Friday, October 20th. Today is Big Friday, and it was hard. I struggled a lot today with just like feeling like I was strong enough to lift. I would say that today was hard, but not hard. It was hard in how everything felt, but the weights themselves were not hard. They're not difficult weights that I've never hit before. They just felt like I don't know how to explain it. I felt like I was not strong enough to do the weights, but they moved like I was strong enough. I don't know how else to say that. I think that that is a clear indication of me reaching the end of a very high volume phase. And I guess that's what's going to be happening next week is kind of deloading from all of this volume. I talked with my coach on Wednesday after I had already lifted, and he was saying that this coming week will be a deload or give me the opportunity to select a continuation of this, of what I'm doing, just lowering the volume and then slowly and pushing intensity. Typically, I don't do the deload. That's not something I like doing. Not something that I feel is effective. I think that it is necessary. I absolutely think it is necessary. I've never thought that it was unnecessary. I just thought that it was not as effective as continuing to push the weights because as far as it goes, keeping the progression the same 5 kilos each week is not going to happen forever. But at some point, I can reduce the amount of reps that I'm doing, and that will ultimately change how everything feels. But I think this time I'm going to do the deload to kind of take it slow. And, I don't feel like I'm strong today. Like all of these lifts on these warm ups felt really, really, really weird. I remember last week, Friday, my warm ups felt awesome. Today was definitely not that. And I was very worried about whether or not I was going to be able to make all of the lifts today for my um, snatches, I guess. My clean jerks I was not worried about, which is really ironic because I didn't end up hitting all my clean jerks. But going for 5 sets of 5 singles at 95 today. Here's my last one at 90. I went 5 for 5 on all of my snatches at 95. Even that snatch at 90 was a little bit loopy out forward, and I'm just very confused about how everything sort of trended towards this way. These snatches at 95 are really all over the place, and that's not a good sign. But I think I want to say that it is due to me being so fatigued from all the volume. Like, I feel like a lot of these are, again, the weight's moving well. I'm just not strong. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, I said that a bunch of times. I just don't know how else to explain it. You'll see on the fifth snatch that when I stand up from the hole, like the receiving position, when I squat up, it looks like I'm struggling. And it's because I am, which is crazy to think about because this is only 95 kilos. I've snatched more than 10 kilos more than this before. Watch this. Right, so like it looks like it's moving up quickly. It is. But I am pushing in a way that's not up straight up and down. And like I had to take a step forward, even though I was balanced for all of that. And like given all of the lifts that I've completed in the last couple weeks, today was really odd. It's just I don't know how else to say that. Like my technique was just not as consistent as I expected it to be. And sometimes for me, like just relying on those expectations of how it's been and how it should be, is bites me in the ass. Like today, like the lifts were not bad. I made them all. They were just not where I've had them in the past and not where I expected them to be, I guess. After that, I moved to my clean and jerks, of course. My warm ups here were 60 to 100 and then 120. And 120 were my sets at. I was planning to do 5 sets of 1+1 today, but there's no way I was going to do 5 sets. Watch how sloppy these cleans are. These cleans are way more sloppy than all my snatches were. I ended up missing my second jerk, and on my third attempt, I was like, okay, if I make this, I'm done. If I miss it, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a little frustrated and then try again to push forward for that, but it was just challenging. I think one thing that I noticed way after the lifting was that at extension, I am probably holding too much in my upper body, like in my lats and kind of pulling my elbows. I think that I need to be much looser in those areas. This is not something I've said in the past, but what ends up happening is if I'm too tight there and end up pulling, then my arms don't get around as quickly as they could, and it feels like it's slow, like that. You see that receiving position? It was very soft, and like I have a lot of height on that. It's just my elbows don't get around quick enough, and that's not something I've really mentioned before because that's really not something I think about. But I do know that that is how it works for my lifting. Maybe that's how it will work for your lifting if you're watching and wondering, how do you fix this thing? I don't know. That's how it works for me. After that, I was supposed to do some front squats, but like I mentioned, I am really tired and almost like exhausted, and it's really late right now, and I'm recording this, and I feel like I just got ran over. Even though today was an easier day of training as far as volume goes. But yeah, I'm not nervous for next week for the first time in this 5 week sort of cycle. I am really excited to take a step back and take it a little bit easier, let my body recover a little bit better. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.